Hello Year 2 students, my name is Ella and I am your teacher today. Okay, let's get ready for some new learning. What do we need? We'll need our learning book, and that's about it today. Of course, something to write with. We're going to do some more learning about numbers. Okay, let's think about what we did last time. We looked at making 20s in 2 parts, and we've probably got some great learning in our learning books. We know how to make 20 because we know how to make 10, because we know our part wholes to 10s. We can use that to make our 20s. So today we're going to move on from that and do some more learning about those special combinations and how to partition and split numbers. Okay, but first we must do our number talk warm-up. And we've been using a 100 chart to have a think about how numbers fit together. And we've been doing some beautiful counting by tens. So let's find a random number. It's just here. It's 32. And we are going to count backwards in tens from 32. 32, 22, 12, and 2. We're counting backwards, and we can also see that pattern, can't we? All of the 2s in a row. That's how we count by tens. Add another 10. So let's have a look at another random number. It's over here. 76, 76. Okay, now let's jump back, subtract 3 tens. We're going to take 3 tens away from 76. So we're going to go backwards by tens. 3 lots of tens. So we'll go 76, 66, 56, and 46. Beautiful. So 76, take away 3 lots of 10 or 30 is 46. So we can see we're looking at these numbers here and moving backwards by tens. All right, one more. Let's have a go at, can't do 76 again. Let's have a go at 63. Okay, so 63. Let's count forwards from 63. 63, add a 10, 73, add a 10, 83, add a 10, 93. And if we go backwards, if we take away, let's take away 50 from this number. 5 lots of 10. Okay, 93, take away 5 lots of 10, 50. Do you have the number already? Let's check. 93, take away 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Here it is, 43. So we can use these numbers very flexibly when we're talking about adding on 10 or taking away 10 wherever we start on our hundreds chart. So great practice. Brains on, let's get moving. Okay, so today's learning intention is to find 2 parts that make a whole and to look at the difference between partitioning a number and splitting a number. Okay, we'll know we can do this when we can partition and split a whole into 2 parts. So let's get going. We're going to look at a special number today, and today's special number is 28. So let's make it. Remember, we make, draw, and write or represent. So here we go. 28. Well, how many tens charts will I need? I'll need 10, 20, and I'll need 1 for the 8. So if I can quickly put these together so you can see what they look like. And I'm going to count in 2s because I like to count in 2s. So let's have a look. I have got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This one I'm going to count in 5s because I like 5s. And we've got very good at practicing this. Here's my first lot of 5. Here's my next lot of 5. Now I have 2 lots of 10. 10 and 10 make 20. And 8, 28. So I'm going to run out of reds, so I'm just going to use some yellows. And 8, 28. That will make 8 ones. Okay, there's 2 left over. I know because that will make 8 and 2 will make the whole 10. So I've just checked my numbers, making sure I'm accurate and correct. I have a 10 and a 10 and an 8. So I have 1, 2 lots of 10, 20, and I have 8 ones, 28. Good check. Let's write it down. We're going to use our bar model because we're very good at this, and we know we draw a rectangle, a line through, and we put our hole at the top. 28 is our hole, and we're going to have a look at how we partition that into 20 and 8. I have 20 and 8. Okay, right. Let's have a look at another way of splitting this number. So I'm using the same hole, the same amount, 28. And this time, very purposely, I'm going to put a line in the middle because I am going to split my number in half. Let's see if I can do that. I know my doubles. Let's see if I can half. So 28. I'm going to move 2 over here. I'm trying to balance my numbers. And here. Let's have a look. Remember we had some balancing scales and we used the word equal, which means the same as. So what I've been able to do here is split my numbers down the middle. So now I have 10 and 4, 10 and 4, and now I have 10 and 4, 10 and 4. 10 and 4, 14, 10 and 4, 14. I have been able to split my number 28 into 14 and 14. That is quite beautiful, and the reason why even numbers are wonderful. We might have a look at some a little bit later in our lessons. But this one has been able to split in half. Okay, and when I go backwards, I can see that double 14 is 28. Double this number is 28. Okay, I'm glad you're still with me, because what I'd like you to do is continue our wonderful learning by making as many part whole splits for our number 28. How many different ways can I split this number to find the parts of 28? So I can use my materials I've got in front of me, or I can start thinking now, how can I split these numbers to make another part whole for 28? I'll leave you to it. I hope that your learning page is full of bar models with partitions and splits. Okay, so let's have a look at my last example, and I'm going to use, I think I'm going to put 1 as a part, 1 as a part, and have a look at what the other part to 28 might be? And I think you've already guessed it. The other part to 28 will be 27 and 1 makes 28. Now let's check our examples. Underneath or by its side, I'd like you to write 27 plus 1 equals 28. What a beautiful number sentence. Let's look at this one. 14 plus 14 equals 28. And partitioned into tens and ones, let's look at this. 20 plus 8 equals 28. Now I have 3 examples. You're welcome to use my 3 examples. I would like you in your learning book to write at least 10 ways to make our number 28 when we look at part, whole. At least 10 ways. A bar, model and a number sentence. Okay, enjoy. Our takeaway challenge today is to think about our favourite numbers. They might be your house number. They might be how old your grandpa is. Or they just might be a number that you really like because you have a favourite sports player that has this number. So with your favourite numbers, I would like you to make some more bar models to help us with our addition. When we know that a number, a whole number, has parts and we can make these number sentences, we get much better at recognising how to use our addition. Okay, so practice, practice, practice and enjoy your maths. Fill up your page and I'll see you at the next lesson. Bye.